white people think it's just a recreational playground. And a lot of tourists, even Australians that come here to Perth, or even a lot of people in WA, white people in WA, they go to Rottnest and they know nothing about it. A lot of them don't even know anything about the incarceration of the blackfellas on Rottnest Island.
So I took them there, and my eldest daughter, she did what I did, felt sick. But as we were walking out, she goes, "I can hear them, Mum, and they're all wailing." And I said, "Yep, needs healing, it needs ceremony, we need to do the right send-off." And I know that conversation's been going on for over 30 years or so. And I'm just kind of going, why? Well, what's the difference? People are buried here. So it doesn't matter whether they're our people or their people or whose people. People are buried here. Respect it and put it up the way that it would be in any other part of the world, in any other society.
It used to be tent land, but they've got a few services running through it. They've got I think they've got electricity or telecommunications lines going through it, and it was at one of those lines where the digger in the 90s dug up the skeleton, and then they dug away from that in another direction. They dug up more, and then they dug up more, and they kept on digging up bones, and so they sort of covered it up. That's kind of, in a nutshell, that's been the history of it. It's been a cover.
It makes me, just reflect back what it was really like when all them prisoners were there. To see them all, trying to picture them, trying to think how they would have felt and get in their minds and see how they felt to be there. So incarcerated like that. Some people think that there's only Noongars are buried there, come from this one river and that. A lot of people don't realise that they come from up north, all over the state. They didn't know that, or some of them people still don't know enough about it.
The first 6 people that were there, I think, were senior lawmen, and I came to realise that one of the ways to assimilate another culture is to remove their laws, to remove their governance structures. And the minute you do remove a society's structures, then they take on the dominant society laws, dominant society governance structures. And so now you become part of that society. So I think at the time that was the intent of colonisation.
So the Quod was used, if anyone doesn't know, for the holding of all the prisoners. It's built the same sort of style as the roundhouse is in Fremantle. And a lot of men were pushed into those little cells, and a lot of people died in there. The Quod's a very significant site in its own right, and of course that wasn't acknowledged, and not just wasn't acknowledged, but was used as part of a hotel. So anyway, that's, as I said, that's one thing that we can say we've helped facilitate, is to have that Quod removed from the hotel and to have it properly acknowledged for its true history.
The fact that people were sleeping in there, like they turned it into bedrooms. How can you sleep in that? I don't think I would have slept, knowing what I know about that place. But then that goes to show you how much of the history wasn't told.
So we're just going to work on the acknowledgement then. Hopefully if there's a good enough job done there, then it can go to help heal. I mean, healing's a personal thing, so it's up to people. When people heal, they have to come to the realisation that it can't be undone, the history can't be undone. Best thing you can get out of it is that it's acknowledged and memorialised. I think unless you heal, you can't move on. So someone telling you to move on without acknowledging and healing is just putting the cart before the horse.